The Karaganda region has long been known for its metallurgical wealth. 50 years ago, in its quest to cultivate the vast virgin steppes of Kazakhstan, the USSR came across the mining paradise of Temirtau and quickly earmarked it as a major resource base for Moscow's economic expansion. Temirtau is also the place where one young Kazakh began his professional career working in an iron smelter in the mid-60s. Today, he is the most powerful man in Central Asia, Kazakhstan's president Nursultan Nazarbayev. The Kazakh leader, who still maintains his emotional ties to Temirtau, wanted to find a worthy investor to take the newly independent state metallurgical complex into the future, and so did not hesitate when L&M, the predecessor company of ArcelorMittal, expressed its interest in the Karmetkombinat.
Situation at this time was quite dull in Temirtau because Karmet was standing without any raw materials because they did not have the cash flows anymore to pay for their electricity bills, to pay for their raw materials, to pay the railways, for the freight. So it was quite dull. There were huge areas of salary to the employees. It was a very difficult situation. There was no heating in the city, the electricity supplies consistently failed. So, and it would need, it definitely would needed efforts to revive first the plant in order to revive the city.
Today, ArcelorMittal Temirtau is the largest enterprise in Kazakhstan's mining and smelting sector. From day one, Mittal has operated in compliance with all legal frameworks of the state and consistently invested and reinvested in its operations.
It is one of the most interesting locations for ArcelorMittal to be in, and there's a very strong commitment of ArcelorMittal to be in Kazakhstan, to grow in Kazakhstan, and to be forever in Kazakhstan.
Despite its foreign ownership, ArcelorMittal, the world's largest steel producer, has played an increasingly active role in the development of Temirtau and its citizens, the mining and steel industry, and the whole of Kazakhstan. And there is more to come. In early 2011, ArcelorMittal's Kazakh unit announced further investments of $915 million to boost liquid steel output by 50% to 6 million tons a year by 2015.
We are using the raw material basis that exists in Kazakhstan in order to capture the advantages of the growing market by increasing our production in the steel plant. Subject to a favorable market development in the domestic market and in the neighboring markets, we are wanting to add 50% of capacity here in Temirtau. That means we are increasing the steel production from 4 to circa 6 million tons of production, within the next 2 to 3 years, subject that market permits.
This near billion-dollar upgrade, which includes installation of a continuous billet caster with an annual capacity of 400,000 tons, should allow the company to meet Kazakhstan's entire domestic demand for the long steel products used mainly in the construction sector.
The
investment project is priority, and it fits in perfectly with the state program for forced industrial development, which foresees an increase in Kazakhstan's gross national product by 50% over a 5-year period. As such, by increasing liquid steel production from 4 to 6 million tons, ArcelorMittal is fulfilling the tasks the President has set the country.
ArcelorMittal Temirtau is equally committed to its shareholders and its stakeholders. While optimizing production and strengthening the company's role in global markets, the industrial giant places its highest value on the social well-being of its 40,000-strong workforce.
Today, the security of our workforce and the program to increase safety measures, not only at Temirtau but at Arcelor sites throughout the world, is our company's #1 priority. In other words, neither productivity indicators, profit margins, monetary flows, nor financial means can compensate for the problems that arise when a person has an accident or when a family is left without a breadwinner as the result of an accident. There's no point in hiding that ArcelorMittal Temirtau, unfortunately, is still experiencing such incidents.
Такие случаи, еще раз повторяю, к сожалению, происходят.
ArcelorMittal purchased coal mines and iron ore deposits adjacent to its primary production site in order to reduce costs and secure the availability of raw materials. Those 8 coal mines present the highest risk of injury amongst Mittal's enterprises in the region. Guided by the understanding that only a safe company can claim the title of a successful company, Mittal's leadership initiated a program entitled The Journey to Zero in order to encourage its workforce to share responsibility for health and safety and to bring down injury and fatality levels.
Our task is as follows. In order to modernize production and implement investment projects, over the past 3 years, $330 million has been put towards the replacement of outdated equipment, with regard to increasing funds for personal security and for the resolution of the thorniest problems concerning technical safety. These are the issues that we are currently taking on.
Large investments, including a $100 million loan from the EBRD, allowed the company to tackle the most challenging problems posed by the coal mines through the installation of cutting-edge gas monitoring systems and ventilation equipment, among other improvements. This is by no means a comprehensive list of Arcelor's accomplishments in the health and safety sphere. Miners are now able to work more efficiently and in improved safety conditions. As a result, there has been a substantial reduction in the incidence of work-related injuries.
Если говорить в целом о результатах, которые мы достигли с момента прихода компании, тогда это была компания.
The overall progress of the company in the safety sphere since its arrival in Temirtau, and at that time it was still Karmet, is very evident when we compare the total number of work-related injuries that took place then with those that occurred in 2010. In 1996, there were 1,400 accidents in Kazakhstan, while last year we had only 76 accidents. That is 19 times fewer.
As one of the world's leading industrial conglomerates, ArcelorMittal wants to lead by example. In Kazakhstan, the company is committed to securing the safety and well-being of its employees, as well as to supporting the communities in which the steel giant operates.
С 1995 года уже 16 лет из 20 нашего государства эта компания работает с нами.
Since 1995, for 16 of the 20 years that Kazakhstan has been independent, this company has implemented its social projects fairly successfully. Firstly, and fundamentally for any worker, the highest salaries in this branch of industry are earned in our enterprise, and this is borne out by statistics. Secondly, since 1998, all municipal services in the city, including heat, water and electricity, have been maintained by Mittal.
However, some local groups criticize Mittal's handouts and communal engagements as populist measures, aimed at building a smokescreen for the company's smoke-belching chimneys and accident-ridden production history.
If you pass through the Temirtau and you see how polluted is the city, then you can understand that the local communities and the NGOs around, we want to know what the company is emitting. And some of the information, for example, about the concentration of the pollutants at this so-called sanitary protection zone around the facilities, we want to know these concentrations, for example. We go to the State Environmental Department and ask this information. They cannot provide us. First, they believe this confidential and we should ask the company. The second reason is that they simply don't have it.
ArcelorMittal has acknowledged the issue and is trying to improve its environmental track record.
Major improvements have been made in recent years to the city's ecology. And we are not talking about the type of small water filter you put on your tap at home. An enormous technological process is underway, and through what I have heard and read in the press, as well as through my participation in roundtables and conferences, I can see that the city is most likely cleaner than it was before.
Some citizens of Temirtau would also like to see a better use of Arcelor's voluntary contributions to the community.
The company should know what the communities need, for what kind of social project the communities need. But when we talk to the company, they believe that this should go only through the government. So they signed the memorandum with the regional authorities, and in this memorandum you have all the social investments that the company will spend money for. Well, some of this investment, from my personal point of view, is not actually the priority investment.
But can an international investor be expected to take on the communal responsibilities that are usually carried by the local government?
We want to be an active corporate, social responsible employer. We see that there are certain needs to actively contribute to the development of the community because of certain structural weaknesses which exist in this area for whatever reason. So we see that there is additional need by us as ArcelorMittal to contribute positively to the development of education, to the development of the health sector, to the development of youth in order to get them off the street and turn them into good citizens, which later on can become our employees. So I think this is basically the main driver of our CSR programs.
Mittal's presence in Temirtau not only brings smiles to the faces of local children, it also brings new business to the area. Kazakhstan's largest steel mill has been a magnet for other international investors to settle in Temirtau, thereby creating thousands of new jobs.
The reason that we have come here is because this large enterprise of Arcelor Group, by the name ArcelorMittal Temirtau, is here. We have old relationship with Arcelor Group, and it's a large corporate, a good brand, and a very strong company here in Kazakhstan. We are coming here to deal with the railways to manufacture the wagons and the undercarriage of the wagons, which is called the bogies.
Mittal's relentless efforts to raise living standards, even during times of economic duress, has given its employees and the local population a feeling of security and allowed them to look with confidence into the future. ArcelorMittal hopes to continue to play a key role in Kazakhstan's economic independence and to set new benchmarks in the social sphere.